'91 and been on it ever since.
Man, fuck that. We not finna let this nigga just skip over. Cuz say he got shot. Cuz say he got rolled with, he had a car wreck with burning weed in the car. See, don't let that morning shit get y'all, keep you fucked up. You was thought this nigga was not nothing, like had no past like that. You know what I'm saying? So, nigga, okay. What resulted to, obviously you the street cat, you just had a blessing to be on TV.
Right.
Like what resulted that? You know what I'm saying? You just shit trying to get some paper?
That's a good question. I had my first daughter when I got my baby mom pregnant. I was 16.
And he said he got shot. Yeah, like yeah, nigga.
So I had my first daughter, Ayana Carter, at 17. You know what I'm saying? I got her mama pregnant. I was 16. So I was a senior in high school, and I just knew, bro, like it wasn't enough. Like it just like working, you know, like a little part-time going to school. I graduated when I was 17, and that May, you know what I'm saying, went to Texas A&M Commerce, and then, you know what I'm saying, I ain't turned 18 to that November, but it was just like it wasn't enough, bro. And I had got introduced to the game. Like my OGs was some real OGs through blood and through marriage. So it was more like, okay, like OG 3AD, Australia Hobbs, OG 3AD. Like through marriage, that's my cousin. And so I got introduced to him through my kinfolk, Chico and Danny and all them, when we went to Stony, it used to be Stony Brook, but we called it the Crook, Stony Crook, you know what I'm saying, I did. So that I was on Barney, but I would go and my mama used to go to Dreams on Greenville every Wednesday, and they were like, man, take him with you. They used to call me Little Munchkin. Take Little Munchkin with you, and we gone up there. So what happened was that they was taking me when I was in high school in the younger 20s to around real OGs from North Dallas. And so the street stuff is sort of like, it got into me just authentically, you know what I'm saying? And so like, I got introduced to the game for us, you know, like big weed and, you know, different type of other activities, and you know what I'm saying, and it was just like I was good at certain things with it, and since I had my daughter young, it was just secondhand. I was just getting bread, bro, but greed take over souls, and I was too greedy, you know what I'm saying? And God was showing me the signs when I got shot. God was showing me the signs, you know what I'm saying, of this individual that I was dealing with, but I was so greedy with the bread that I wasn't even thinking about it.
If I may, how'd you get shot?
So it was a Saturday, bro, and it was like a movie. I'll never forget. I was with that night before, this dude, this out of town dude from the boot, he had called me. He was like, you know what I'm saying, I might need to holler at you tomorrow before I head back to the crib. I like, I bet. So that Saturday, he hit me, and I was on my way, because I always had like a full-time, part-time hustle, you know what I'm saying? So I was on my way to one of my gigs, and he was like, hey man, I need five bowls, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or some Keisha. And he was, I was like,
these niggas don't know.
That means weed, Keisha. And it was flat back then. It was right. It was flat. It wasn't a little crunch. It was flat, brick.
Game you niggas up right quick.
Yeah,
that
free game.
That was then.
That was then. Yeah. So it was five. He said I need 5 bowls of Keisha, bro. So I was like, alright, bro. So so the plug, I was already finna be passing the plug anyway. So what I did was I got with the plug, and shout out OG Big V, you know what I'm talking about. And so I got with the plug, and I told him, say, bro, I need you to follow me because woo. And he was like, alright, bet. So he followed me over, and I was over there at that Greenville and 635. You know what's that? Racetrack right there in Markville.
Markville.
Yeah, so I was over there, bro.
And then High Point.
Yeah, and so we pulled up on him, and And people really don't even know the story, only maybe a couple, you know what I'm saying? But real speak for today. So I got in the car, had to work in, you know what I'm saying, the bag in front of me and sitting on my lap. And he pulls off, and I'm like, "What you doing, bro?" And he was like, "Man, I've been here for a while." He was like, "Who was them people right there? They were too." And I never forget. So I told him, bro. I said, "Yeah, bro, them my people, man. I'm always protected, bro." And he was like, "All right, I'm just making a block." And I was like, "All right, bet." So he was a little fidgety and nervous, you know what I'm saying? He had pulled out a little bread, you know what I'm saying? Like, acting like he was counting it as he, you know what I'm saying, driving. But again, I was early street game back then. I wasn't really like now, man, you can't do none of them type of movements. You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm already ahead of it. I'm already thinking 2 steps ahead. So I was just thinking about the money, man. I'm finna get, you know, 5 into woo, you know what I'm saying? That's finna be an extra few $100.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For the profit and ooh, I'm finna go splurge, you know what I'm saying? And not knowing that day right there changed my life, man. And so I was in so when we got to the light, he was driving slow. And I didn't even think about this till afterwards, but it was like 4 or 5 cars in front of us. So we in that on Margaretville right there. He wait till he get to the light. The next thing I heard, he say, "Tell them niggas to back up. Tell them niggas to back up if I kill your bitch ass." So I'm like this, I'm looking, and all of a sudden I'm like, "Huh?" And he got the strap right there on me, and he in the driver's side. Granted, bro, he's like 400 pounds. He could just hit me, beat me up, and took the work. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to kill me, bro. And so he was like, "Tell me, man, if I kill you." And I was like, "Oh, calm down, bro." I was like, "All right, calm down, fam. Hold up, calm down." So he was like, "Nigga, tell them niggas to back," because they had just called me right there before he pulled, like maybe 3-5 seconds before he pulled it out, and he said, and they said, "Say, bro," I said, they said, "Everything good?" I said, "Yeah, we good. We just making a block." He said, "You know, a lot of niggas been robbing niggas up lately, bro. We see the boot on the license plate."
Yeah.
He said, "You check the nigga resume out, bro?" I said, "Man, we good, bro. We good." You know, and so then he was like, "All right, man." You know, and so I hung up, and that's when a few seconds later that he hit me with that. And so, man, it was all spiritual, bro. This all happened within, I would say, 37 seconds from him pulling the strap out. But if that, and so what happened is he was like, "Tell me back, I'm telling you one more time, I'm gonna kill you." So I was like, "All right, bet. So I looked at the door, and when I looked at the door, I seen it was unlocked. And when I looked at the door, I seen it was unlocked. I looked at him, he was a little shaking, a little nervous. But then I noticed that he didn't put the work in the back seat, nothing. He was still in my lap. So he looked out the driver's seat one time, driver window one time. I hit it. I just hit the door. You know what I'm saying? I opened it up real quick and I hit it. But this why I messed up at Greed Takeover Soul side. So when I turned around like this, the weed had fell and it was finna go. The weed fell and it was finna go into the sewers. Yeah, the sewers thing was right there. So I did like that and I hit it and I was like, "Oh shit," and I turned around. And when I turned around to pick it up, that's when he had popped me in the back. You know what I'm saying?
What you hit with?
Shit, I got hit with a 9. I got hit with a 9, but it just should have did way more than it did, bro. But yeah, I got hit with. They said it was a 380, but it was nah. So, but I got hit with a 9 and it looked like a 9 to me, and so when he hit me, then I heard 4 or 5 shots. Pow, pow, pow. My partner was busting back at him. This was like 12 o'clock, bro. It's the daytime cars everywhere, like movie. Now when I say when they do a movie on my life, it's gonna be real. Yeah. So he dodged off, and they said, "Man, come on, get in the car." So I'm standing up, trying to stand up like I'm gonna get in the car, and I couldn't even feel nothing from the waist down. And I was like, "Oh, I can't feel nothing." They were like, "Man, stop playing, get in the car." I was like, "Bro, I can't feel nothing I can't feel my legs." And they was like, "What?" And so then the passenger got out the car and he lifted me up, opened the back door, lifted me up, dragged me in, and took me to Medical City on Forest Lane. But you know the cold part about it is that what's up? Okay, thank you. So the cold part about it is that the cold part about it is that I had the scale on me. I had all that shit, bro. So when they these some real street cats, so they already know they can't pull up in the medical city because of the cameras. So they was like, bro, we finna drop you off on the curve. And I was like, all right, bet, just appreciate y'all. So they dropped me off on the curve, and some essays that was in the car, probably like 5 seconds before them seen it. They were like, man, what? I say, man, can y'all help me? I've been shot. They were like, did they shoot you? I was like, nah, they was helping me. So they was like, all right. So they went in and to the ER, told them. So now I was like, man, what am I finna do with this, the scale? So it was some bushes right there. So I took the scale out of my back pocket in the bags, and I put it in the bush. You know what I'm saying? And right there, and all doctors and nurses came out 6, 7 deep, and with a stretcher, and they had lifted me up, put me on a stretcher, and that's how the story went. I never had surgery on my back. They said well, you got shot at. It's a miracle that you still living. We don't even know how you even still living, but this is a chance that if we do surgery and go in, because your spine protects your vertebrae protect your spine. My vertebrae shattered and hit my spine, and the bullet fragments went everywhere in my back. So they was like, if we go in and do some surgery, it's a chance that you might have something else come your arm or your neck or your other leg, something, you know what I'm saying? So they was like, it's a chance that if you want to do some surgery, we can, but to get all them little fragments out. But they was like, man, it's a blessing that you still living, so you might just want to just do. So I talked to God, talked to my mom, and they never went in and did no surgery on my back, bro. And so to this day, that's why I deal with nerve damage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like in my legs, it just feel like somebody stabbing me with a knife. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it happens like maybe 4 or 5 times a year for like maybe about 30 minutes to an hour. Sometimes it may last a few hours. Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's just God showing me, don't forget, you know what I'm saying, everything I brought you through. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So from that, how long you was in the hospital?
I was in the hospital from November 13th to the first week of December. I was in there like actually about 3 weeks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's when everything on your journey happens for a reason, and I didn't know that I was going to meet. So a dude named Brian, he was a pimp, and he had told me that he had just got to Parkland because he was driving and he flew out the window of his car, and he said, man, God was showing me, man, that lifestyle I was in, that pimping lifestyle, bro, I grew up in it, but it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And I knew it. And he was like, man, right before my accident, God was showing me something with one of my ladies, man, that I should have paid attention. And he said, I went on the street, you know what I'm saying, and got into a car wreck and flew out the car, and I hit a tree and I was paralyzed. But they brought him to my room because I was in there writing every day still, fam. Right. I was in there still doing songs because that time I had just earlier opened up for Bun B and Scarface and all that year because of Family Fed. You know what I'm saying? They flew us down to Odessa. We was I'm on the Inevitable album, 380 album with Devin the Dude, Bun B, and Pookie Lucci and Pimpster, and just, you know what I'm saying? So I was already hot, and so I just kept writing, you know what I'm saying? Corrupt, you know what I'm talking about? From, Dog Pound. So they brought Brian to my room, and they was like, hey, we like you to inspire him. You know what I'm saying? If you can show him, y'all both have spinal cord damage, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So I met B, and he introduces me to, and what OG name is. He introduced me to Mike Williams. I think his last name Williams, but you can look it up. Mike Williams.
He went to Hillcrest.
No, this is OG. This is OG in the game. He actually did one of the instruments on, what's the dude name? Sam. Girl, you know that I love you. Huh? Lenny Williams. Yeah, so he did one of the, Mike did one of the, he played the piano.
Right.
So he did one of the, he's on that song. And so I'm like, dang, it's my work. Because Brian telling me, so when I got out the hospital, I'm going over to Mike's crib, me and Brian over there, going up the steps on a walker and 2 crab leg crutches.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they seen how hungry I was. And so I just couldn't believe that through my trial and tribulation, it got me to lead me to meet this dude who, like, you don't know. It's like Cash Money. We see Baby Boy, but Slim is his brother, is the one that, you know what I'm saying? So it was those. So I just kept writing, bro. Ever since I never stopped writing. Was to speed up. I never stopped writing. So I was meeting people on my journey.
Yeah, nigga, fuck that. Before we get to the speed up music shit, I'm gonna share this motherfucking story. Okay, as we said in the beginning, like, I know this nigga. I remember one year, man. I said this shit. This nigga didn't remember. I remember one year, man. This nigga must have had he had a van somewhere, and they was bullshitting with his van.
Still got it, that legend van.
Man, this nigga hit me and was like, "Hey, cuz, man, I need you to come with me somewhere right quick." Now, he told me like maybe a day or a week before about the van, so I ain't think nothing of it. I'm like, fuck, let's go. Nigga, we get down there on Harry Hines by parking. And first, we passed it up, he saw it, and that nigga, he said something himself. He was like, that nigga hit. We go, we bust a bitch. We go in that nigga swooping that whole fast. I'm sitting on the passenger side. That nigga say, excuse me. That nigga pop the motherfucking glove by. That nigga get a burner. Nigga hop out there. I'm like, oh shit. I'm saying that nigga, I'm the nigga for it, but I didn't think nothing. In my head, man, the nigga so humble. So I didn't think the nigga was
I'm
going.
the one that's gonna do the stick.
Nigga, man, they got out like nigga. He didn't even warm up to it. Nigga, where my van at? I'm like, oh, like, good, fuck me up with that. So I'm like, fuck it, nigga. Man, say they had cut fucked up over this. Man, say, man, they say. I learned that yeah, Derek from Morning is Ricky, nigga, from, was it Boston Hood over there? Man, cuz retarded, like, that nigga say, excuse me. That nigga, man, when he grabbed that bitch, I was like, nigga, I was so unaware. I did not know. Like, man, say, so, I got the utmost respect for this nigga, it go deep. So, what I did acknowledge is, like, well, no, I want to ask you, did, like, the artists, when, like, growing up, did you tell people who you were from your past, or did they know?
Yeah, they knew, but then I would tell people too, but I don't know. It was different when I was younger. I didn't like that elementary, middle school, high school. I wasn't as much like, yo, I'm different, right. But I still let it be known. But as I got older, that's when I came more of the, oh, I'm such and such, I'm different. You know, when the gift of the go-getter came into play, and God came to me and said, man, stop that goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am God, and I gave you all that. And so I had to learn and humble myself even more. Like, man, I'm really nobody, just a street cat who, you know what I'm saying, got the opportunity to do something big in the world. You know what I'm saying? And get in. So, but when I was younger, though, I mean, all the bros, all that type stuff, like, was easy, you know what I'm saying? So I did let them know. Yeah, right. Well, you don't want to get me.
Well, so you change from that, you know what I'm saying, because you get out the street. So when you say out the street, like, that mean, like, I know you probably reestablished your relationship with a higher power. As an artist now, like, how did you start your label? Like, what genre of music are you in? Like where does that come from?
Yeah, so I'm a hip hop artist. People that listen to my music deeply, they say, man, you a Christian artist? Or like, you know, cause you talk about God a lot, but then you don't curse in your music, right. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just a gifted artist. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't like put a label or, you know, like on me.
Right.
So what happened was that how I started Go Get the Enterprises is that, remember back I was saying in 06,
Right.
in January, then I went down to go get an ENT, go get the entertainment. I went to do a soul prop on that downtown.
Right.
So when I went to do the soul prop, you know how you have to every 10 years re-register.
Right.
So in 10 years, in 2016, I went to go re-register the name, but then the spirit came to me and said, hey, why don't you do Go Get the Enterprises and then put this and this and this underneath it.
Right.
And so that's where Go Get the Enterprises came, and then in 2017, that's when certain things like I got an online TV show, Fab TV, and certain things didn't come, like my nonprofit agency, I Am a Go Getter for single mothers with young men 7 to 14. That didn't come to like a few years ago. So certain things came in 2016, 2017, and it just started building from there. And so we actually have a game plan. Everything is a miracle that in my life. So we dropping Miracle Work, Lord willing, November 13th this year. I always wanted to drop it on November 13th, but I would say I would drop it on November 13th, 09, November 13th, 2013, November 13th, 2018, November 13th. But trials and tribulations will come up, and you being kinfolk, you already know on some of them trials and tribulations that as a man, that I still needed to be more responsible on, but I wasn't as responsible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to D, solid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Aunt Sharon. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, to all the family. Shout out to E-Love, Sean. Shout out to, you know what I'm talking about? So let me get that out the way first. You know what I'm talking about? So I was dealing with a strong woman at the time that, like, since like 2016, but I still had to do financial things. And so it was like, what comes first?
Right.
So at that time, I was like, I was still always doing music, but it really wasn't as focused as I wasn't as focused I am now because of my responsibilities. And so that's
some people don't know, like, it's kind of hard to be a rapper if your personal shit is kind of in shambles. And the first thing they'll say is rap about it. Well, bitch, we gotta have the money.
Right.
We gotta have, like, it's deeper than that.
Right.
I was gonna ask, like, since you get the years, like, doing a lot of times when a lot of shit was jumping, I was rapping, but I wasn't.
Yeah.
So when you say years, like, you was around doing the boogie movement.
Oh yeah.
So what was that like? I always ask, I missed that jump. I was a fan of that, and I kind of watched that from like prison walls.
Yeah.
So what was
well,
that
you
like?
from North Dallas, and so when Boogie came with Will, you know what I'm saying, like, and Dougie, you know, like all that movement, and it was like the streets when DSR and I, like, because Trini, you know, Trini D, see people look at like George Lopez and they say, oh, DSR. Well, nah, bro, it's like this Cash Money thing, and Baby and Slim. Well, Trini D was Slim.
Right.
And what happened was my little brother who 29, he grew up as best friends with Dimitri,
Right.
which is Trini's son. So when we moved to Mesquite when I was like 21, that DSR and they were jumping and all that whatever with the woo, I was already networking with the back office end because my brother was best friends going to spend the night with Dimitri, you know what I'm saying, and they played on the basketball, whatever with the woo. So what happened was though, when I was in the North Dallas area, just to back it up a little bit before then, when I was in the North Dallas time frame, my main focus, to be honest with you, cuz, was like my daughter.
Right.
Like, I was on it, but I really wasn't on it as much. So from like when I was 17 till really all the way till I got shot, my focus was trying to figure out how to be a father, like being a good dad, and like, I'm young, you know what I'm saying? So that's why they say, man, bro, you 20 years later, like, you dropping your album, debut album 20? Yeah, and I'm dropping 2 more after that. I got a 7-year game plan. Yeah. So the thing about it is that I had to understand what my responsibilities lied in. So when I got shot, then then now it's like, okay, so 99 had my baby. So focusing on that for a few years, then you get shot in 04. And then it's like bounce back from that time and you rehabilitate from that, and you still have a baby. Then I have a son and get in 08, get his mom pregnant in 07. So it's like life was moving. Then I had my daughter in 2010. You know what I'm saying? And so my life was all mostly evolved around family stuff, bro. I was doing music and I, like I said, and I was kept my ears to the streets, but it just wasn't. I was just like all in it around the time with the boogie and the dugget. I just went all, because I was dealing with so much other stuff as far as being a family man.
Yeah, cause I just be want to know what that shit was like. I saw it, and for the artists that was around, I just be want to know what
it was live though.
So from
that was them Big T days and
the real
Big T days, yeah.
Shout out to Brumas or Bruce.
Yeah, but they wasn't
Bruce ain't no more.
Yeah, it was Lead Bell and oh my God, Glendale Park.
I want to say with the music. So when you started, you started a label.
So I started Go Get the ENT, Go Get the Entertainment in 06.
Yeah.
And that was just music I was doing.
Yeah.
So then 10 years I was and I dropped my first mixtape in 2006 as well. Go Get It Volume 1.
Get that mixtape.
Yeah, y'all know nothing about the mixtapes no more, man. So I dropped I sold 100 copies, all that.
Was they hard copies?
Yeah, hard copies.
Hard copies, nigga. Manually. Hand in hand, nigga. This nigga seen over 100 people. Hand in hand. Manually, motherfucker.
No internet. So then, in 07, I did Go Get It Volume 2 and then 500 copies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was then. So then, in 08, I did Go Get It Volume 2.5, which is a combination of Volume 1s and 2 and a few new songs.
Yeah.
I did 1,000.
Yeah.
So all them. Well, in 09, that's when everything was supposed to be like jumped up. I had got DJ Drop, Definition DJ. Shout out Drop.
Y'all niggas not ran him off like ran him off.
Right.
Y'all ran him off with all that fuck shit y'all niggas doing.
Yeah,
I know about that shit too.
Right. Shout out to Drop.
Shout out to Drop.
So in 09, I got Drop to do, I paid him to host it, and we was finna do 3,000 copies on that one.
Yeah.
But I ended up having my daughter, Angel, and I had to go to court for her because they put her in the CPS system because she was a preemie and only weighed 2 pounds 11 ounces. And so they went and found out her mama had drugs in her and all that, and alcohol. So it was either still focus on your music or take another setback like I had been taking and get right with my family. Well, I chose the family first. And so when I went and did that, then music pushed that to the side. I was hot in the street, but I pushed it to the side again to get full custody of my daughter. And so when I got full custody of Angel, it took me about, I would go see her for like one day a week on like a Wednesday or something for an hour. She was in the CPS system. Yeah. And it hurt, bro. And so it was like 3 months, 4 months like that. And they did a study on me and all that or whatever with the course or whatever. And I ended up, because I was working 2 jobs. Right. I was working at merchant services, credit card processing, and then after that, I was working at Bank of America at the corporate office, doing loan modification on the first level. You know what I'm saying? We just get the information. So I was out, and I was hustling. So I had so much going on, but my family came first, so I had to leave the second job and change up my ways and everything and dumb down. And so that's what happened in 09. So then that's when I was told you to speed up in 2016 when I went to go register. Well, actually in 2012, I don't know if you remember Coon Delaney with the Metro Music.
Everybody who bring up Coon, shout out to Coon, R.I.P.
Coon.
I never got a chance to meet him, but
he put everybody
a fan of Levi and our music.
Yes.
But I never got a chance
to
meet with him.
Ask anybody who knew Coon.
They speak so highly of it.
Bro, he was the first original in Dallas to be putting artists on the platform. Like he put us on. I was messing with him since like 02, 03. Right. And so in 2012, he was like, look, man, you know, been doing your thing. You got shot. You still own it. You know what I'm saying? We all on the ground, proud of you, bro. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. So he was like, I'm finna start this tour, and we